Hello and welcome to Stop Doing This with Your Bar Chords. All right. Today I wanted to take a look at one of the really big common challenges that people have with bar chords when they play. What they want is they want to sound like that. They want them to be clean, crisp and clear when you play through, whether it's on an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. What most people end up sounding like, especially when they first start, is this. And it's just awful, okay? And it doesn't, you know it's awful and it doesn't make them feel good. The problem is when you sound like that, you know, it makes you want to go back and just keep playing open chords and kind of give up on the bar chords, which is a pain. And we don't want that because you should be able to play bar chords and anyone can learn to do it. So let's look at why that's happening. Well, what's happening when you do that, if you weren't aware already, is your fingers aren't pressing down, they're not squeezing the strings enough to get the sound out. That's why you get the buzzing sound. You probably knew that already. But the reason it's happening is because 99, 95, I don't know, some ridiculously high amount of people who learn bar chords start with the wrong bar chord to be learning. And it's because that happens and they get lots of wrist pain because of it and shoulder pain because of it. It happens because a lot of songs have open chords and this bar chord in. And a lot of teachers get you to use this bar chord first too as well. I'm kind of been surprised by how many people come to me after working with another teacher and they say their teacher was getting them to do this. And I go, wow, okay, well that's no wonder you're in a lot of pain. So the problem is, when we're playing the bar chord down here, we're on F, we're on the first fret. This is the hardest place for you to play, and it's a huge strain on your wrist and hands and shoulder compared to everything you were doing before on these open chords. Okay, these are, by comparison, not very stressful for your hand. But here, we're right next to the nut, right next to this edge of the guitar, where the strings are hardest to move on the guitar. So for you to practice your bar chords, here's the one thing that I want you to do. Is just shift from the first fret to the 7th fret for the moment and get used to trying to play it at that 7th fret. See if you can get a good sound on that 7th fret by doing all the same stuff you already have. I'm not going to go into all the other technique of bar chords today with all the other pieces. I just want you to move to that 7th fret and then try each week or each day as you begin to start progressing, trying to move down a fret. Because it progressively gets harder the closer you get to the first fret, okay? That's all I want you to do. Now, here's the question that comes up. They go, well, I'm learning a song, and the song has open chords in it. And I can't use this one down here. It won't sound right, because if I go now, well, it sounds okay, but it's not the song. The song did F. That's a B. Okay. You're right. Okay, it's not going to sound correct, especially if you did the 6th fret. Oh, sounds kind of cool, but no, it wouldn't sound right in the song. So you're still going to practice it this way. Now, why? Because there's one other huge problem that happens with bar chords, and it's being able to change into it from nowhere. A really good way of practicing this is simply to make the distance you have to change further away. Because now you've actually made the whole thing more difficult as you go through. So even though it's not going to sound right and that's not how you're going to play it in the song, this is just a practicing tool. Get used to practicing, moving to the bar chord further away, and then back into your other chords as you go through. It's a good way of practicing. It's more difficult than the first exercise I gave you, and it takes a lot more training, but you have to keep working at this stuff. Guitar requires lots of practice. It's kind of how it is. But the little tricks, if you know you really want to get good, all the advice that I can give you and all these little tricks and tips will make a huge difference if you implement them. Only works if you do it, okay? So that's a little tip that I wanted to help you with today. Get your bar chords and shift them further up the guitar to make them easier to play. Keep practicing a little bit every day and have fun. What up?